This is round 5 of the Vodacom United Rugby Championship here at Hollywood Bets Kings Park in Durban. Glasgow made some late changes to the starting lineup. The brother of Xander Ferguson dropping out from the number 8 position. Of course, Franco Smith unable to be here today due to some visa issues, strangely enough.
It was like Murphy's Law. If something was going to go wrong, it did go wrong. And when I say wrong, I use it wrong loosely. It was a challenge. Everything was a challenge, and we didn't use any of it as an excuse. A few of the guys weren't feeling so well, so we weren't really sure what this was about, and then as it transpired, they were quite ill with it. So a few of the guys were isolated. Franco was 3,000 miles away, but we were still gung-ho and in our prep and convinced that we were going to give the Sharks a really good game.
Boys, look around the group and then look at yourself. Today is not a day to wait for someone else to do it. Not a day. Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Every single one of us. Let's try. Warriors!
It's up. We are underway. Pepsi Buthelezi underneath the ball.
The Sharks came up pretty hot at the start. We didn't make some of our first up tackles to start with. Guys like Ebenezer and so on running it and making some big yards. I don't know what the exact stats were on the lineup, but they kind of held us back quite a bit. We couldn't attack off, our own ball, and so that makes it tough. If you can't get your set piece, it makes it tough to get into the game.
Puts it Chamberlain. It's the first 3 points of the match by the way of the home team. Now finding space right up the guts. Here comes Thomas Gordon. He's ripped them up and he's going in for the try.
To me, I don't know how I really did that, to be honest. I didn't look up and see anything. I just grabbed the ball and found myself in some open space and then just stepped, and I didn't even see the guy fall over or anything. I just kept running, and the whole stadium was quiet. I thought maybe the ref had blown the whistle or something. I was like, oh wow, I did that.
It was very much our plan was to try and get scores on the board early. Now it might sound simple, but we felt that we wanted Sharks to chase the game later on, because they were, with the quality that they had coming off the bench, we wanted to change their mindset in terms of how they were going to look at the game, and look at our line-out didn't function to the level that it normally does, and we didn't deal with some of their contestable kicks, so we were totally deprived of possession.
It's causing major problems for the Glasgow defence. This one is scrappily away to Chituka.
And the possession that we did have, for maybe the first 35 minutes of that game, we didn't use that. We said we were going to use that possession. So it was really moving them around, which is what we'd done against the Bulls the week before.
Tapuai off to Chamberlain, and Chamberlain's ripped them open. It's off to Anthony for Monk. He's in for the try.
Just collectively, fellas, we get this. That template in the last minute is our game plan. That is got to continue. Before that to happen, fellas, we need to work off in our half. That means we got.
So at half time we spoke. We hadn't fired enough shots. We're going to need to start the second half early, because once the big guns come on, they're going to just close out the game. But
Pressure line out for the Warriors. It's perfect this time. Ryan Wilson at the back, and the Warriors are rolling towards the line. It's a try. The Scotsmen have done it again. A second try for Tom Gordon. And Busty fires into the outside. It's simply scintillating from the South Sea Sharks.
In the second half, they brought all their Springboks on and just kind of ran away with it in the end, I guess.
Latched onto it like a barnacle is Xander Ferguson, but he's in the wrong position now. And Bonambi's in control, and he's over the line for the try.
they had their noses in front on 50-something minutes. It was always going to be easier for them to close out the game, and with all the disruptions we had, it was, we had no flow then to actually, or any momentum to even chase the game.
Right. Chamberlain, the cross kick, and there's space for Vandercock on the outside here. It's all on the bounce. Vandercock, he's got it. He's in for the try.
I think everyone was pretty disappointed, especially when the score kind of ran away from us in the end. They scored on full time, I think, and it was, I guess, pretty disappointing.
It was quite obvious where the game had gone wrong for us. We just didn't have a foothold in the game, and for us it was all about firing shots in the first half. It wasn't about the last 30 minutes because that was just damage limitation when with all the injuries and the shuffling about.
So whoever's going to be out there next week, let's make sure that we have a week of preparation in terms of whatever analysis or out there on the training field that's going to put us in the right position to play next week and execute, our type of game. But there's our tactical parts of the game that we need to look at, and I'm not saying that to be negative, but I'm saying that because I think there's more in us that we can come over here and win games.
But it was a case of, look, that was a missed opportunity down in Sharks to try and silence that crowd, but we were very much looking forward to being able to play rugby against the Lions, and no matter what squad but we had there was, we were gung-ho that we were going up there to play, and we were going up there to fire shots.
So we are recapping
the Lions week.
the Lions week.
Oh, what a week. Yeah, things did start off well, other than the fact that we were coming off a loss, but I think we knew how big a week it was, being on the road, going to South Africa, getting no points in game one. We were fully focused on going into the Lions and making sure we came away from there with some points. I think mood in the squad was pretty high. We were losing different boys, but luckily, after 2 or 3 days, then we were getting some boys back too. So there was this kind of to and fro the whole week. Who's in, who's out, who's down. But overall, I think the mood of the boys was pretty good.
You can nod to Rich.
Nice boys, so 2 things. We can dodge a wrench, we can dodge a line. Use those feet, boys.
We were fully focused on playing the line and knew that no matter what, we had to get a result there. We certainly weren't going to use the sickness as an excuse to get out of anything. And so training was disrupted, but I feel that boys responded really well. We got numbers. We ended up training against the Sharks Academy, so we trained against opposition, which was brilliant for us. It meant that we could run our structures and defend against, players that we weren't familiar with. So I think overall we had a really good training week.
That was pretty good. Accuracy wise, I think we got our rolls right and especially in our starting plays there, it was pretty good.
Friday was tricky, so personally, I got shot down Wednesday night, Thursday, and I wanted to get through captains. I needed to sort of run to feel like I could get into the game. So Friday morning we had a meeting. At that stage, we thought the game was fully on. Our biggest problem then was that we had a lot of front rows that were sick, and so that's all we were discussing. We were like, okay, what if we don't have 6 front rows?
I know Carl touched on this morning. In times of challenge or adversity, we've a choice. Okay, we can either fight it or we can run away from it and fly. All right, and this team won't run away from it. As Carl said, if we have 12 fit guys tomorrow, 12 guys will take the field, and we will fight tooth and nail to do our best in it. We're not conceding anything.
From our perspective, and pre-captain's run, I spoke to the boys and I said, look boys, this is on. We're doing this. No matter what, we've got to go up there and get a result. And spoke about the opportunity that there is in these times of adversity. Then we went to captains, came out of captains, got pulled into a meeting. We got back to the hotel, all the staff, and then we'd heard, Ulster. This is raced through Ulster as well. Probably quicker than it raced through us.
I think everybody is reasonably aware already. Just given the amount of infection, given the Franco boys got down last night, and given all the advice the doc has given me, as well as the doc has taken externally in, with the amount of time that you get contagious for, so the game won't go ahead in either of Ulster's game.
It was quite weird being all pumped up, being like, right, you know, we're going to battle against the odds here, to all of a sudden the game was off and everyone was like, what? So yeah, there was quite a lot of chaos. I don't know. I was really disappointed, you know, but that's obviously a fairly selfish outlook because I've been out of action a couple of weeks. You know, I was desperate to get out there. You know, I had 20 or 30 tickets lined up for friends and family, you know, that would have been there in Joburg. And I think a lot of the boys were disappointed. I think some boys that had just come back from the illness that were maybe trying to fight through it and play, I think some of them were relieved because I think, you know, immune systems and their energy levels were just completely in the ground. You know, but I think overall it was disappointment because, you know, the biggest, when you've had a loss, you know, you just want to go out there and you know, show our fans and show your teammates, you know, that we can do better.
Yeah, obviously after a really frustrating period, it was really good to be back. But just when the guys came back in on Monday and we had a brief meeting with the coaching group, and then from Tuesday onwards, the players just bought in and the plan that I set out there.
After a sickening trip to South Africa, Glasgow Warriors are back hoping for some home comforts. A sickness bug decimated the squad, meaning the round 6 tie against the Lions had to be postponed. But now they're back here in Scotstoun, apparently in rude health, but praying to do battle with a side that battered them on day 1, Benetton.
Glasgow Warriors are formidable here at Scotstoun Stadium.
We're at home, in front of our fans. We've got boys that have grown up watching these boys play. Watching boys play in this jersey, they've watched the thread develop, and they get to add to it tonight. Go out there with them. We go out there, big energy, big communication, and we keep firing shots.
And round 7 is underway in perfect conditions in Glasgow.
Yeah, look, we wanted to deprive them from ball and territory. That's always one of our objectives. We wanted to up the intensity a bit to play to our level.
Through the middle, Valadu. Oh, what a dummy that is from the number 8. The Tongan tap for the corner. Oh, what a score! What an introduction to Scotstoun.
We encourage the guys, if they can see and identify the space. I actually just before the game said to them was make sure that at least 1 foot is behind the ball when he picks it. And I think that was the last encouragement he needed. So the first chance he got to pick.
Dobby goes the same way and it's a clever...
What I enjoyed was the space identification. We, as a team, we've got some good attacking structure and a good defense structure, and we've got, but the players must make good decisions on the field, and that's always what we're encouraging. And I think Sepp Cancellation came from the wing and he asked for a little kick from Jamie that executed that well. You could see Domingo was obviously in the same mind frame, and they spotted that space.
McDowell. And Kyle Steyn now with numbers outside him. Warriors look in the mood again here, and Josh Mackay scythes through the gap with men on his shoulder and Stafford McDowell.
Just before halftime, it's always important to score a try just before halftime. Execution was perfect. I think that actually set us on our way to have a proper second half.
For the second time, Brown now makes the dart for the line and uses his power and delivers the bonus point score for the Glasgow Warriors. Chase still on here, and it is going to lead surely to...
The space identification is really important. That shows that there is growth. Both the kick from Sean and the braveness of Rufus to call for that ball merits that try.
Smith takes the tap, knocks it out, brings the game to a close, and the perfect way to close out the opening chapter of the URC season for Franco Smith's men.
Guys, first of all, congratulations again on tonight. I mean, it's fantastic. After the 10 days away, coming back in here and setting the standard out. I think the way you reacted to what we've done, what we've asked, the way that you've gone about your business is rewarded tonight with an excellent effort. I'm really, really proud to be a part of it. I often say that, but it's really fantastic. And if we keep on showing heart in it, then you're going to write, you're going to be a legend here, and you're going to leave a legacy, and you're going to write a special, special story. There's something special happening here, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
I thought the effort out there was fantastic tonight, and I love the way, there are a couple of boys who got their chance and really stood up at home tonight.
To see the pride in their eyes, after the game where they were handed the jerseys and the numbers were given to them, means that it meant a lot for them to play out there. And then obviously on the field they did more than was expected. I think Alex applied himself very well from the start, and when Johan came on, he just continued to show that he's a player that can develop in a very good prospect for the future. We must concentrate on growing this team, and that will remain the focus even in this couple of weeks that we don't play. It's important to get better in these next 6 weeks, 8-week block until after Christmas. So a lot of work still to be done. But it is pleasing to leave the field and leave Scotstoun for now with some good wins behind the belt. It will energize us in training and looking forward to the Christmas period.